Chapter 91 Shrek's Glory. The light on the tournament stage finally vanished. The purple lights weakened first, but they still forcefully carved out 3 holes on the protective barrier. Fortunately, the barrier surrounding the stage was still solid. Although a part of it had been broken through, not too much of the energy had leaked out and affected the audience. The white blaze on the other side vanished gradually, revealing the body of the enormous elephant. There was no doubt about it. This enormous elephant was the martial soul true body created by the soul sage ranked referee. It was precisely he who had taken the place of Tang Clan to block that fatal blow. Even the referee's martial soul true body was covered in a layer of soot now. An enormous, fan-shaped area of the tournament stage in front of him had been destroyed. The widest part of the area was nearly 40 meters wide, and the deepest part of the destroyed area was 5 meters deep. Extremely large cracks had even appeared in the area surrounding the destroyed area. This miserable sight was truly astonishing. This was the might of a super energy gathering soul cannon, and it wasn't even a complete one. When the super energy gathering soul cannon was first developed, it was claimed that even a soul sage would not be able to withstand it in a direct collision. This was the most powerful aspect of a soul tool. Even a 5-ringed soul king would be able to threaten a soul sage by relying on a soul tool like this. In reality, however, would a soul sage give a soul king the opportunity to charge up the required energy and aim it at him? This referee was unluckily the first soul master to have taken a blow from a super energy gathering soul cannon with the body of a soul sage. Furthermore, he was still unable to counterattack when he was blocking the attack. The fortunate thing for him was that he was a defense type soul master, especially after releasing his martial soul true body. His defensive capabilities were truly astonishing. The yellow light vanished, revealing the dirt-covered face of the referee, who had withdrawn his martial soul true body. However, his eyes contained no traces of anger at all. As he looked at Hikato, who blocked the falling rocks from hitting Xiaxia, he truly wanted to give a big thumbs up to the 2 students from Shrek Academy. Tang Clan walked expressionlessly out from behind the referee. He was completely unable to imagine what would have happened if that attack had landed on his body. Furthermore, although his 3 arrows were very powerful, he could guarantee that there would have only been a single outcome if they had collided with the might of the super energy gathering soul cannon that was an explosion. Moreover, his 3 arrows would simply have been unable to pierce through the soul cannon. The referee turned towards him and said indifferently, "You were already eliminated from the competition the moment I helped block your opponent's attack." Tang Clan shivered instinctively, and only then did he realize that he was still in a tournament. He hurriedly said respectfully, "Many thanks for your kindness in saving my life." However, the outcome of this match. At this exact moment, a somewhat limping figure climbed out from a pile of broken rocks and dust. His sturdy body was filled with power, and his appearance seemed to make the entire audience think that this was a theater. This person was Shui Lang. After being frozen by Xiaxia's cauldron's quaking tremble and taking on the shockwaves of the purple flower bow's second arrow, Shui Lang had been slightly injured. However, Hikato and Tang Clan had started firing at each other before waiting for him to climb up. Think about Idong Party had shot 3 deadly arrows over, while the other had released a super energy gathering soul cannon. Nobody else would have dared to climb back up in a situation like this. Shui Lang could only curl his body up and release his strongest defensive soul skill and exert his soul power to hug himself amidst those terrifying explosions. Moreover, it was just by doing this that he was able to become the match's last remaining person. The referee leapt across the giant pit in front of him and examined Hikato and Xiaxia's bodies, then shoved a medicinal pill into their mouths before standing back up. He announced in a low voice using the sound amplifying soul tool, "I shouldn't favor any particular team as a referee. However, I must say that my blood was ignited by being a participant in this match. My life's greatest regret is not becoming a member of Shrek. However, I have to announce that the last remaining student in today's match is Just the Academy's Shui Lang. Thus, Just the Academy wins this round. The current score of the 2-2-3 match is 1-1, and so the victor of this match will be decided in the 3v3 round. Shrek Academy, please send some people up to collect your members." The referee's voice was somewhat low, his gaze not leaving Hikato and Xiaxia's bodies as he made the announcement. The instant he finished his speech, Wang Yan, Bei Bei, Hu Yuao, and Wang Dong simultaneously leapt up to the stage and surrounded their teammates. Wang Yan also took out more medicinal pills and shoved them into Hikato and Xiaxia's mouths. Then, he motioned for the others to carefully take them down from the stage. After the referee announced the results of this round, the audience fell into a temporary silence. Nobody knew who made the first clap, but sounds of applause started to gradually ring out. These sounds were rather sparse at the very beginning, but they gradually grew louder as more and more people came to their senses. Right, Shrek Academy had lost. The Shrek Academy that had never lost had lost a small match. However, was Shrek Academy's glory affected at all? No, naturally not. In the eyes of the audience, at the very least, Shrek's glory had only grew even more. Although they didn't know why Shrek Academy would send out a Soul Ancestor and a Soul Grandmaster, this team had nearly defeated one consisting of a Soul King and a Soul Ancestor. It was just that a Soul King who specialized in long-range attacks had completely shut them down. Think about it. What had that brave girl done? She was a twin-souled Soul Master who infected every single person in the crowd with her perseverance and stubbornness. Did she lose? No, she hadn't lost. She was still that young, and she had a boundless future. At most, the audience only thought that Shrek Academy was being heartless. None of them thought that Shrek Academy had lost its glory. It was the exact opposite. This fight had proved miracles that Shrek Academy could create. Right, this was a match of miracles. Shui Lang and Tang Clan naturally wouldn't think that the audience was cheering for them. The two of them glanced helplessly at each other, then looked back at their opponents who were being carried down with a look of admiration. This admiration had sprung up involuntarily. They had won their match, but their opponents had won the respect of everyone else here. Hikato was left in a somewhat better condition. He had overexerted his body, and his meridians had suffered too large of an impact due to his soul power. However, he was still older than Xiaxia. Moreover, his cultivation was deeper than hers, and his physique was much stronger than that of an ordinary person. After eating a medicinal pill, he recovered somewhat. However, Xiaxia was left in a less optimistic state. Damage to a martial soul would result in an injury to a soul master's origin. As a result, she was still left in a deep coma even after taking medicine. Fortunately, the soul masters from the medical department arranged by the Dalu Empire had quickly rushed over to treat the two of them. Thus, their injuries were soon stabilized. The tournament stage was still busy. After being violently destroyed, the tournament clearly couldn't be continued immediately. There were already Earth-type soul masters who had quickly entered the tournament stage and begun to repair it by using rocks that had been transported over. However, this process would still take a bit of time. "I owe Xiaxia my life." This was the first thing Hikato said after waking up. His emotions were very complicated now, and an unusually warm gaze appeared in his eyes as he looked at Xiaxia. Bei Bei grabbed the sturdy muscles on his shoulder, forcefully preventing the tears in his eyes from falling. "You are all good people. You are heroes of Shrek. Shrek's glory will not be lost from our hands. No matter how strong our opponents are, we will protect this honor even if we have to burn every last drop of our blood. You can go back and pat your own shoulders as you tell everyone that you are a member of Shrek's 7 monsters. You've done it. Good job, Kato. Leave the rest to us." Hikato nodded and shook Bei Bei's hand. "Bei Bei, we'll leave the rest to you." Bei Bei squinted his eyes, a flash of lightning seemingly flickering through them. The current him was just like a volcano that could explode at any time. Hu Yuao and Wang Dong immediately stood up after taking a look at the state of Xiaxia's injuries. They could now see many more emotions within each other's eyes. Xiaxia was their teammate. The three of them had fought together before, but this was the first time they'd seen Xiaxia reveal such a strong fighting intent. Why was this the case? This was because they were students of Shrek and members of the Tang Sect. Wang Dong said coldly, "We absolutely will not lose, even if we have to die." Hu Yuao didn't utter a word, but a metallic glint had appeared within his light-bulb spirit eyes. "Brother Skydream, Ice Empress, help me. Even if I have to die, I don't want to lose. Good luck." The Sky Dream and Iceworm didn't try to persuade him otherwise, but the two great soul beasts simultaneously said some words of encouragement. Even they had been infected by the scene that had just unfolded. Furthermore, they now increasingly understood why the innately weak humans were able to release so much potential to become the masters of the continent. Wang Yan didn't say much, although he knew that sending Bei Bei, Hu Yuao, and Wang Dong out to fight in their current states could lead to a few unknown issues. He couldn't say anything to stop them. The emotions of the Shrek 7 monsters had been infected. They had given simply too much for the sake of Shrek's glory. Could he even make them give up at this point? Wang Yan couldn't. He felt like he didn't have the qualifications to do so. Even if the dean was in his place, he wouldn't have the qualifications to stop these cute children either. The repairs to the tournament stage were finishing up, and the referee had switched into a new set of clothes before coming back up. The emperor of the Dalu Empire was already seated on the distant city walls to spectate the tournament rounds. He was using his actions to show his respect and admiration for Shrek Academy. At this moment, even the arrogant Xiao Hing Chen from the Sun Moon Imperial Soul Engineering had no smiles or other emotions on his face. There was only astonishment in the depths of his eyes. He had never thought that Shrek Academy was much stronger than the Sun Moon Imperial Soul Engineering Academy. But after watching these two matches and seeing the three people who seemed to be burning with a fierce blaze as they came out, he gradually understood where the difference between the two academies lay. Glory. What they were lacking was the glory that Shrek Academy had accumulated for over 10,000 years. Nobody knew why Shrek Academy would send a lineup like this to a tournament, but they were still able to win everyone's respect. Right, they had won the respect of everyone present. The referee waved towards the two teams within the two waiting rooms from the stage above. Just the Academy's final three members slowly walked up to the tournament stage. Bei Bei turned towards Huo Yuao and Wang Dong and said in a somewhat special voice, "It's going to be all on us now." Huo Yuao and Wang Dong simultaneously shouted, "We have to win." Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.